Earthlings, hello Earthlings. Welcome to Your Brain is Bigger Than You Give a Fuck. 6 cups of plain tap water, not all of them full to the brim. And you fucked if you think I need a tripod, because I don't. Because I am trained in cameras, camera work and camera angles and zooming and panning, and I don't really give a shit about any of those rules. Camera work is nothing, it's just like an eye and the mind, who is like a perspective. Right, I'm cutting my shirt, polish the lens, and it's not that great. Never mind, I'll get a new phone to record it some other time. Okay, so this is free energy guide for people whose electricity cuts off. Alright? Get yourself a tray to isolate and insulate, keep the electricity from escaping to the earth. Now have your cups and your ceramics. Doesn't matter about what ringtone they give. It's not about ringtone, it's about water, being sensitive to environmental energies. Nah, not that either. Okay, well, like it possibly could be. But the thing is, if you have a zinc washer and a copper wire, or a copper screw, or a copper nail, either way, put zinc on one end and copper on the other. So here it is. Here they are. It's one wire I got from an old radio I pulled apart. Okay, now it's going to have a lot of high usage. Skinnier wires do lower voltage. However, I don't give a shit about voltage. I want the possibility of possibly to reach up to a higher voltage, but not too high. Because obviously I have to contact with it and it's going to absorb into my body. And I wear bare feet a lot, so I am an earth being and I would get shocked. Okay, but it's not that voltage at all. It's only in the millivolts, which is similar to the human body. We can handle 40 millivolts without any problems, because a volt is higher than a millivolt, okay? So there's ohms, I'm not too sure, there's a whole lot of things on YouTube about ohms law and all sorts, and there's a setting on a multimeter for ohms. So let's get to it, okay? What you do is get you a diode, and you get, if you can see that, you get one part of the wire on one side and one on the other, and on the other end of the wire that you're going to connect it, you connect it to a wire, and then you have one with a zinc washer, and at the other end you have a copper wire. Okay, so what you do is you just make bridges over every cup, but the last 2 cups, one will be one end of your diode wire, and the other will be, so one will be the copper, and one will be the zinc washer. I noticed, I found out after a couple of days of doing this, the shiny zinc faded, and it seems to colloidalize, electrolyze out of the metals, or it could just be rusting. Oxidation is rusting, and that is when water wets metal and is present oxygen to help speed the process along. Okay, I'm just going to put this phone down here a second and talk about it. Meanwhile, I'm going to connect that one wire to the diode, so that there's one is going to the positive end of the diode. A diode being an electrical light that you find at very low voltage. It can work in the millivolts. Okay, so don't ask me how it's possible, but I'm pretty sure that copper and zinc are reactive to each other. So always have one wire from one side, just as a copper going over the edge. Have a screw, and then have it going into a copper wire, and then have the wire leaning over the edge like a bridge, and one part of it must be submerged. Okay, but then on the next side, you must put in to the bottom the zinc water, and then it bridges over to the other copper, and then you put the copper on the lip and dipping in. So the nail, the screw, is on the end of the wire, so I wound it around the screw, and then I stuck the copper on the screw and tightened that around the screw. So it goes pretty much copper, zinc, so it's copper, there's a wire going to a diode, and it's coming back in as zinc. So always in one cup must be copper and zinc, copper and zinc, copper and zinc. Okay, but there must be a bridge between, and on each wire must have copper and zinc. So now I see that the diode has zinc, it goes all the way along to copper, then it does not contact with the zinc wire, but the zinc is in the bottom. Now I've put the copper on the lip of the next one, then I put the zinc in the bottom, but they do not cross. Okay, then I put a copper on the other lip and repeat the process, being sure to do my very best to not let them cross, but there will be no danger because it's low voltage, below human possibility of surging or anything won't affect the human. We are able to endure far more voltage. See, this is only about 3 to 7 millivolts that it produces. Okay, so it's a low lighting, but diodes, they produce quite a bit of light. So as I continue doing it over the lip, and then this ratty looking one, we must make sure there's a zinc in that one, and a copper on this one's lip. And then a zinc in that one, and the final one, copper in the lip, and in. And there we have lighting. Don't turn off the light. And ta-da! So, there's 6 bridges, but the last bridge being the diode. And let me film that diode lighting. So if you look right into it, into the lens, that's the diode, and it looks beautifully bright. But if you look at it from other angles, we'll just get it in the frame. So go around it. There are obviously pretty blurry, pretty shit angles. So no, you can't really see it, but it seems to go and stop and be finicky and fiddly and sticky. So, what the fuck's going on? Always keep your eye on the technology, on what's going on, and just go around the circuit. If you find it stuffs up, try to push the coppers back into the water, make sure it doesn't cross with they don't connect. So you need something, you can put something in which would assure that they do not electronically connect. So you could just stick something in the stuff in there that won't catch on fire, push it on enough power to make fire. Just something to keep them apart. You could do that. I haven't been can't be stuck for doing it. If you want to move it, you may well short out. Here I am moving the wire around, and it's quite bright as you see, depending on where you're looking at it from. Okay, so quite bright there, but move it along to the side. So as you see, I'll give you a look at it. It's simply just a diode with a positive on one side and negative on the other. And if you look at the cups, these 2 wires go up to the diode in my hand. Okay? And then there's just it comes down to copper, then there's nothing in between except for a zinc washer, which does not connect with the copper. It uses the water to arc through, and the chemical reaction between them, they don't like each other. So it produces a chemical reactive charge, and it continues where they are in series. It's called in series when you get a battery next to a battery, and they all join up head to tail in the same direction.